I normally avoid scrolling or looking at my older artwork. When I do, I always think, how the hell did I do that? Or worse, why the hell did I do that? My older work is kind of like a time capsule that reminds me of the good and the bad, and it seems like something I'll never be able to escape. Though honestly, I feel like my work peaked in 2019 to 2020. I was using Paint.si like all the cool kids back then and had gotten comfortable with my drawing equipment. I had so many different coloring and painting techniques that I've developed for myself and my art style. Techniques that I've outgrown now and no longer use. So today I thought it'd be fun to revisit one of my older pieces and art program from 2019 and redraw it. Before we get started, this video is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare has been a long-time supporter and friend of my channel. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, offering thousands of classes led by industry experts in the fields like film, illustration, design, freelancing, productivity, and much, much more. Whether you're looking to advance your career or develop a new skill, explore a hobby, or grow your passion project, Skillshare can help you take it to the next level. As an artist, I find it easier to express myself through pictures rather than words. But as someone who is passionate about storytelling, I want to grow in writing too. Skillshare has many different classes about writing that I'm excited to explore, like Creative Writing Bootcamp, Start a Brand New Story by Mila Goldberg, or Writing Authentic Fiction, How to Build a Believable Character by Sabah Tahir. Both of these classes have fantastic reviews and cover two essential aspects of storytelling, creating a story and developing compelling characters. And that's just the start. Skillshare has many classes on storytelling, writing, art, personal development, career, advice, and so much more. There's something for everyone. This month is the month about gratitude, so I want to take a moment to say how thankful I am for all of you. Your support allows me to do art full time, and I'm endlessly grateful for all the kindness and encouragement you show me and each other. Thank you for the opportunities you guys give me. Seeing the artwork you tag me in and watching your growth warms my heart. I feel so lucky to be part of such an amazing community. If you're pursuing a new hobby or working towards turning your skills into a career, Skillshare is perfect for you. Skillshare is giving 1 month free to the first 500 viewers to use the link in my description. It's a fantastic opportunity to dive into easy and enjoyable learning. A huge thank you to Skillshare for supporting this video, and now on to the rest. Back then, my art style was super colorful and painty. I focused a lot on color schemes and painty textures. A lot more than what I do now, actually. I think a great example of that area is a piece that I made for Parallels Draw This in Your Style back in 2019. I think it really captures the vibe of my 2019 work. Downloading Paint.si again was so nostalgic. I used this program religiously from 2015 all the way till 2020. I had then made a switch over to Clip Studio Paint, which you can see actually in the original speed paint of this artwork. I miss Paint.si a lot. I thought it was such a superior art program back in the day. The one thing I do not miss is the white interface. I feel like just drawing this one piece burnt my retinas, and no wonder I have such terrible eyesight today. I was actually pretty nervous coming back to this piece, as it's been 6 years since I drew it. And if I wasn't much better, I'd be crushed. It is why I avoided doing redraws for such a long time, because if I ended up being a little bit worse than what I was like a couple years ago, it would be heartbreaking. I mean, look at this piece that I did here. I did a redraw from 2018 to 2019, and that was a massive improvement. And I kind of expected that maybe I won't have much of an improvement from there, because I felt like, oh yeah, this is like my peak and I won't get any better than this. So luckily, I actually had a speed paint of this piece from 2019 with the most cringe background music, of course. And looking back at it, I drew it really quickly. I didn't spend a long time actually drawing like the anatomy and stuff. I just kind of slapped it on and prayed that it looked okay. But now I take my time to draw it and really try and capture what I'm thinking about, or like the pose, and I try and capture it properly. So yeah, I do take a lot longer now. I think the biggest difference I can see is how much my anatomy and composition have improved. Back then, I only ever worked on full pieces, so fully painted and rendered, and I never let myself actually doodle. But after 2020, I allowed myself to experiment more with doodles and technical studies, and that really helped me grow in those areas. I remember being so determined to make my own painting brush back then. All the cool artists that I looked up to had one, so of course I had to have one as well. One that was so unique and so different from everyone else's that, like, oh, you look at it, you're like, yeah, this art style, this is what I want. That's kind of what I wanted when I was like 15. So I ended up making this brush that is really shit to use. Like obviously I got used to it after a while, but now going into it, trying to use it as me, like today, like 6 years later, this is very difficult. And I'm so sorry to everyone that I told, hey, use this brush, it's great. It's not. It's very bad. I will give credit where credit is due. It's really nice to paint like textures. Like look at how I used to paint hair. I don't know how I did this exactly, but I really love like the textures I would capture with this brush. I think my painting techniques from 2019, 2020 were way better than what they are right now. For example, I used to use like really messy sketches directly, and then I used to paint on top of that and clean it up, kind of like this. If I had to do that now, I would lose my mind. Like I tried to do it with the hand throughout this piece, and I almost lost my mind. I had to go in and redraw it because I need like a cleaner line art now. One thing that surprised me was how I used to pick colors. Like the colors I used to pick were really, really pretty and very colorful. Compared to how I pick colors now, it's a very big contrast. Going into this, I had completely forgotten about my process to choosing colors. But working on this piece and studying my old piece, I kind of picked up again of what I used to do. So if you're curious, that is my cat. So if you're curious to know how I picked the colors for this piece, it's very simple. I had 3 colors that I stuck with through the whole piece. So it is blue, pink, and purple. And they all stayed in the same hue, meaning like throughout the whole piece, the blues are always in the same hue, the pinks are always in the same hue. And I'd mix that into every shading, highlights and everything. So I just basically had the same color everywhere. And I used a lot of color, so I always tried to like push like as many different colors as I could into the piece. I tried to do this again with the redraw, and I was kind of going into this thinking maybe I'll pick this coloring style up again, but I realized it just doesn't suit what I draw nowadays. I love the pastel colors, but I cannot imagine any of my art pieces or my characters being drawn in this color scheme or color palette now. With the overall piece, I'm kind of happy the way it came out. Like my art style has obviously changed quite a bit. Like I used to be a bit more on the realism, facial features painty style, so I had a lot more details in the overall painting. My art style now is a bit more cartoony, a bit more anime. I thought I was gonna miss the realism style there for a second, but now looking at it, I'm like, this is kind of just what it's developed into, and I'm comfortable drawing in this way. I can't say I hate my older work. I loved every piece that I've submitted from 2015 up until now, even though some of them are a bit strange. I still like them. I'm still a fan of them. I do miss drawing like that, but I will say I am happy with where my art sits now, and I am excited to see where it goes in the next 6 years. Maybe I won't even draw the same that I do now. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. This video was a bit faster because I've been a bit tired over November, so I haven't been as active as I would like to have been. But yeah, so thank you. I think it's Thanksgiving. Like, I've never celebrated that, but I saw a lot of people did, so I just want to say thank you. And my cat is also running around here, and she says thank you too. Thank you for watching. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I think that's a great way to end. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for Skillshare, and thank you so much for just everything, and happy holidays and stay safe. Yeah, bye.